Okay, hello YouTube, it's Alejandro, and this time I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do a review over the Power Rangers Dino Charge Megazord. Now, I got mine from a 2-pack for Christmas that also came with the Terra Charge Megazord, which I will do a separate review over. This review I'm going to focus specifically on this Megazord, which comes with 3 Zords. The blue Stegozord, the pink Tricera, and the red T-Rex. Now I'm going to move these two over to the side and pay attention to the T-Rex Zord first. Now, in the packaging, the feet do detach from the overall main leg. I can't get them to detach, but they do. You just attach them on, and now onto the T-Rex. He's got his tiny little plastically gray arms. He's got his feet, missing some paint. Got some paint right here on some nice molded detail on the chest. It's got some nice molded detail here on the yellow. Then for the head, he's got some nice green eyes. It's got some some black dinosaur kind of pupils. It's got these yellow bits right here, which are for his Dino Charger gimmick. It's got some paint right there. Nice molded in teeth. His head does open up and close for chomping if you want. And it does stay up. It stays open, so you don't have to hold it or anything. So yeah. Now for right here on the tail, it's yellow, it's long. Right here, missing some more paint. It's got a Zord Builder port because these Megazords are Zord Builder. Now for this side, it's got some pegs, which will be his Megazord mode back. It's got a lot of screws revealed on this side, like right here. Pretty sure he's missing some paint up on his forehead, on his main front of his head right there. Missing a lot of paint back here, but since it's going to be the back anyway, it doesn't really matter that much. Now for his gimmick. Now, for the 2-pack, I didn't get any Dino Chargers, but you don't really need them for the gimmick. Now what you're supposed to do is that you plug in a Dino Charger into his mouth, then you close it, and with the Dino Charger in there, it presses this button. Continue. Okay, sorry about the disturbance. It was my mom calling on my sister. Now, even though he's missing some paint on the front of his head, he's also got some nice molded triangle details right there. And then there's the tail, and like I was trying to say before, he's got his Dino Charger gimmick, where you're supposed to put in a Dino Charger in here, then it folds down the head, and the Dino Charger pushes against this button, and when you push against the button, I'll show it off right here. These yellow bits right here, they come up. Well, let's give you a better look. So they're like straight across like this, and there's one up, then you push it up, and yeah. Goes like this, and you can do it without a Dino Charger. You can just push the button by yourself, and heck, you can even lift it up manually with your own hand if you want. And so that's his gimmick. He's a fun toy. And now for his movement, you can move his little bitty arms forward. You can rotate his head, sorta. It's meant to be arm rotation for when he's in Megazord mode. And for the big feet, which he does have big feet, it's mostly black on the underneath. He's got some silverish gray plastic toes. His feet do move back. They don't move forward, but you can pop them off. This port right here in this hole reconnects. So yeah, they move this much back, but it's mostly because of his transformation to Megazord mode. And so yeah, that's the T-Rex Zord. Moving on to the next Zord. Might as well go off next with the pink one. So you have the pink Zord, the pink Tricera Zord. Now, its main body is mostly all pink. It's got yellow stripes on each of its legs. Has some nice molded in detail on the body. And then there's the drill tail. It's in a nice silvery plastic up until the very tip, which is more of a gray plastic, slightly different. It's got some screws right there, visible screws. For the eyes, same like the T-Rex. They're green with a nice dino black line. It's got the yellow horns. And for the Sorry for more interruptions. And now for the mouth, he has a third horn right here, and it's painted in silver, and the mouth, sort of like a beak right here. The rest of the mouth is pink. It's got some nice silver detail on the face. Missing some paint, I'm sure. And for you can move the legs forward a little bit. You can move them all the way back. For the back legs, you can turn them all the way around like that if you want. You can move them forward too. Back legs got some good movement on them. Same for the other side. For the mouth, you can open it up a little bit if you want, or if you want to comically open it up, you can open it up all the way, which is how it's meant to be opened up for its gimmick / for its combination. So, but there are two things you can do. Right here is the perfect shape for a Dino Charger. Now, the Dino Charger is supposed to push all the way back, and see the tail? It's just springs out. Now, how you would undo it is, by the way, right here is the fist when it becomes one of the arms for the Megazord mode. It's visible right there. It's not too visible unless you pay really close attention to it, but it's right there. Now, here's the thing that you can also do without a Dino Charger. This is the tab where the Dino Charger was supposed to be in. It's hard to take the Dino Charger out. So that's where this tab comes in. You push it forward, and the Dino Charger is supposed to also come forward. Thus, you can pull it out. And with that pulled forward, you can also, push the tail back in. So even without a Dino Charger, you could do it with your finger. Probably would not recommend it because safety. But you could take this and push it back, which would give you the same effect as the Dino Charger would. Push it forward so you can push it back in. And pink Triceratops. It's pink, it's got some yellow, has a good face, though missing a lot of paint, has some good molded detail, very robot-like. Okay, now for the third Zord, the blue Stegozord. Now, it's got around the same amount of paint. It's got some yellow here on the arms and legs, same amount of movement on the arms and front legs and back legs. It's got a fist right there. It's got a yellow handle because, well, I'll show that off later. And for the back tail, it's got some yellow here, nice painted yellow. It's got this little middle blade right here. It's got some nice detailed spikes on his back. It's nice molded detail in on the body as well. But again, missing some paint. Moving on to the head, it's got his little nose right here, mouth. And for the eyes, again, got some detail, but for the eyes this time, they have the same dinosaur black line, except this time the eyes are red. And you can open up all the way, and this is where you would put a Dino Charger. You can stick your finger in there to activate the gimmick, or you could just pull this all the way back. In this case, this which is supposed to go right here goes upward, giving him a really long spike, which becomes a sword in Megazord mode. And because this is old sword builder, there's some mix and match combinations between the Zords and the Megazord. And in fact, you can even take it further with these two, because these pieces, they pop off. You can connect through this and there, that and there. And you can switch them around if you want. Like, there. Like, you could add the extra spikes to the pink Triceratops, and you can add the drill to the blue Stegozord. And the gimmick, the gimmick doesn't work when it's attached to the Stegozord, but even when attached to the Triceratops, the gimmick still works. Now reattaching them back on. So putting them off to the side, going back to the T-Rex Zord. Each of them is a good sword by themselves, but now we're going to move on to the combination. So you take the T-Rex Zord, and let's start with the tail. You slide this out. Slide it out. Put that off to the side for now. Then you take the legs, pull them down. Take this section, push it up. Gotta be careful with that. It's not as easy the first time, but you get used to it eventually. Okay, then you turn this part around. You open up the legs, and here's where the helmet for the combined mode is. Let me just open it up for you to look. So, this is the shape for where the helmet's supposed to go. You put it in like this. And then you close up the legs so you can hide the helmet when it's in T-Rex mode. So yeah, you take the helmet out for now. Then you push the legs, arms forward. Then there's this little nub right here. And it's also got a little tab right here. You line them up for some more support in the legs. Do it on each leg. Gives you some more leg support. And now he's getting taller. Okay, so next you take the head, last step for this guy, and you got the Megazord head. Got the Megazord head right there. Next, moving on to the other two Zords, starting with the Tricerazord. To get him into position, you first activate the gimmick, pushing out the tail. Not exactly necessary, but I like to do it. Then you pull the front legs back like this, and the front legs forward like this to get the horizontal stripe. Do it the same to the other side. Then you open up the mouth by pulling the head up, and you got these tabs right here which go into these ports right here. They connect. Show off how that works. Tab that in. And you got the pink Zord arm. So yeah, that's the first step. Next step, you do the same thing with the Stegozord, except you actually remove this part. Now you pull this up, pull this there to make the horizontal line. Do the same to the other side. Open up the mouth. It's got the same ports right there that connect to this other arm. And there. Next you take the tail and you open it up. So yeah, got this right here. For the toy, he's got these tabs in the back. These connectors in the back, and they're the tabs on the tail. You plug them in, like so, onto, I forget, is it the top ones or the bottom ones? I think it was the bottom ones. I'll have to check really quick. Give me a second. Yep, it's the bottom ones. Sorry. It's a little harder to get the Megazord into focus because of how big it is. Gonna try to move it back a bit so it's easier to see. Connect. Like that. Move it back a bit more. Then you take the helmet, and there's this tab right here. There's a hole at the top of the head right here. It just plugs into place. Then you take the sword. In case you haven't already popped it open, you pull this down. It makes it a sword. Then you got the handle, which plugs into this hole right here in the Stego arm. And there. Now he's got his sword. And this is the official combination. You can switch the position between the Stego and the Triceratops. It's up to you. It doesn't have to be this way. You can switch them around. The only downside is that it would reveal the screws, but yeah. So now, for the sword, it doesn't, unlike on the show, it's not split open, making a sword and shield, but it's still a good sword, missing some paint. Now, he's got his drill weapon, and yeah, the Megazord missing a lot of paint. A lot of paint here, and the legs are missing. Still got some nice detail here on the chest. Missing some paint right here. It's got a Zord builder port right here, so you can connect something else onto him. Like, for example, if I were to detach that, I could. Yeah, never mind. No, I don't have anything I could attach onto there. Now, moving on to detail, it's got molded in detail on